It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Oh, did you notice the sloth? This is a sloth. Husband bought it for me. I thought it was a good sort of, could be the, what do you call it? Mascot for this channel, the sloth. All right, this is from Zena. Zena says, first, I want to thank you, blah, blah, blah. I'm in the middle of my recovery and I'm experiencing extreme hunger and mostly mental hunger. Since I feel full, but I want more. I'm trying to respond to them, but I feel so sick after that, literally so sick, that my stomach is bloated and in so much pain to the point that I feel like I'm going to be sick. I feel like I'm hurting myself by eating these huge amounts of food all at once. Is this really how it should be in recovery? I mean, I cannot see anymore if I'm doing the right thing or what. I'm literally thinking about this all the time. It's making me crazy. How can I control this extreme hunger episode to not feel sick after that? I know you said it will end, but I feel like I'm so trapped inside a big hole of disorder that I really want to become a normal person again. I feel like a crazy person who thinks about food the whole time. Well, eating disorders do turn us into crazy people that think about food the whole time. So that's normal. And I know that a lot of the time my mental hunger, my extreme hunger, my desire to eat would outstrip my physical capacity. And so I would often eat so much that I would feel really, really uncomfortable. I'd often eat so much that I would have to go and lie down because I felt that if I wasn't lying down, I was going to throw up. And so the question here, how can I control this extreme hunger episode to not feel sick after that, is, well, you can't. So what's going on is that your brain is freaking out, thinking that food is scarce and that it needs to get as much food in as possible. And yeah, that might make you feel physically uncomfortable from time to time. I mean, that's sort of tough shit, really. Your brain is really worried that food is scarce and that it's going to die of not enough food if it doesn't get as much as it can at all times. And I can't put a timer on how long it's going to take before your brain actually starts to trust you. So it's just a bit of tough shit, really. And most of us have to go through that in recovery, where we just feel really uncomfortable because we ate so much food. But if you think about it, of the sort of, recovering from any sort of illness, physical or mental, if feeling really full and a little bit nauseous because you've eaten so much food is sort of the worst of what we need to go through physically in order to recover from anorexia and have the rest of your life of complete freedom, well, it's worth it, isn't it? Now, one thing I will say is that have a think about, are you still relying on some filler foods or safe foods? Are you still filling your stomach with foods that are really a bit of a waste of the time and just taking up space in your stomach, where really you could be eating things that are higher fat or higher nutrient density, i.e. calories, and you could actually be filling up on that. And if you were to eat foods that were higher in fat and higher in calories, you may find that actually the volume of the food that you needed to eat until you actually felt mentally satisfied was less. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that's something that frequently happens, is that people are eating more, but they're still trying to eat all their safe foods first because they feel really hungry. So they're like, right, I'm gonna eat safe foods, and then they still feel hungry, so they eat more safe foods, and then they still feel hungry, so they eat some not maybe quite so safe foods, but still safe foods, and then finally they're just like, oh fuck it, I just need to eat chocolate, and then they just eat chocolate and they feel a little bit better. So the moral of the story is just go straight for the chocolate or the cheeseburger or whatever it is that you actually really want and what your body's actually craving, because if you can take up a lot of room with safe foods that in your stomach that doesn't need to be taken up, and that you're filling your stomach with foods that your body's just like, oh, give me a break, I don't want this, I want chips and cheeseburgers and fries and crisps and chocolate. Just a thought. I know that I sort of went through that myself in recovery, especially early on. I was just I was eating tons, but then it's like we go through different levels of understanding, I think, as we move through recovery. And then it took me to this level of understanding that, oh, if I actually went for nutrient density, I could get way more bang for my buck with what I'm eating. And that was a brave step for me to take. Just be like, let's just go straight to the chocolate cake and see how much of that I can get in. Because if I was just putting chocolate cake in my stomach and not sort of trying to be like, oh, well, I'll see if something else that's slightly healthier will do the trick and make me less hungry first. If I stopped doing that, then usually I found that actually my body was getting what it wanted, which in that example would have been chocolate cake. So anyway, from me and Sloth, happy Friday, and I hope you eat lots of chocolate cake. Bye.